Hello everyone, my name is Vivian and welcome back to Burrows. On the last one we caught up with Gabriel's route, before that we caught up with Mark's route, and now we're catching up with Ken's route, aka we're really starting Ken's route. The only thing I really remember of Ken's interactions in the first day, since I haven't gone back and really looked at it since I kind of skimmed through it when I was recording Gabriel's first day, was that Ken was quiet. I don't really remember much else. So I guess we'll kind of see. I don't really like the hangman motif on the card. Doesn't give me much confidence there. Oh yeah, literally it says right on the text box, I hadn't seen that yet. I sigh and grab Ken's card, trying to ignore its macabre design. I hope the others would forgive me. I take a deep breath and do whatever these mysterious forces obviously want me to do. I place his card next to Virgil's together in my hand. Immediately they glow and vibrate, and yep, it does the same thing it does before. Throw out my other hand to try and keep them from falling. But soon the light envelops everything around me, and I'm falling. Oh. Ooh. This is... I like that. That effect. How the hell? I touched the card, and there was a flash of light, and now... trying to find my footing. I take a cautious step forward. The ground is suspiciously soft. I take a deep breath and a confident step, immediately falling over as the floor collapses under my weight. Expecting to fall to my death, I'm pleasantly surprised when I land on a soft, shifting layer of some strange substance. It's almost how I imagine it'd feel to walk in a cloud, albeit a dark and stormy one. Using that as a guide, I pull myself up and continue forward with caution, treading as lightly as possible. I can't seem to make any progress. Why would the card send me here anyway? The occasional soft boom in the distance reminds me of thunder, and I wonder if I'm somewhere high up enough to be in the clouds. Ignoring how ridiculous that sounds, I technically have to be somewhere, right? Maybe some kind of mountain? Was New Orleans closer to Appalachia than I thought? It's impossible to tell what direction I'm walking in. I could be going in circles for all I know. Keep walking. Hello? Is anyone else there? I'm feeling worn out. I should stop and rest. Don't stop. I feel a rush of cold wind behind me, causing nerves to shudder all along my spine. Holy balls! Before I can even turn around, two beams of light pierce through the smoky darkness on either side of me. The air around me begins to vibrate. Images of my impending death start to flood in my mind, and I'm paralyzed. I try to sputter out a few words, refusing to look behind me. No, please. There's something grunt, sniff around, breathe on my neck. Whoa! The light blinks! He blinks! Run, motherfucker! Put the floor... No, it doesn't matter. If I die here anyway, it won't be because of him! Take a deep breath. And out. Taking the first step is always the hardest. But we have to. We snap to attention and dash forward. Whoa, The earth gathers under us like a loosened rug, but eventually we gain a footing and push away into the darkness. The father's close behind, its burning gaze nipping at our heels. We try to focus on a single point in the void, but it is of no use. The earth beneath us continues to unmake itself with each step. We're not gonna make it. No, we must. Gods above, is this? A beam of light pierces through the black clouds and stretches towards us. so bright it looks like solid gold, like we could reach out and grab it. This feeling, it's been so... It's too late. He's upon me. Just as his claws are digging into my back, I feel the warmth of the light touch my outstretched hand. The pain of my severed spine melts away, and I feel myself pulled into its embrace. I'm on the road again. Well, this is unexpected. I'm on some sort of paved road, but it's so smooth. Perfectly smooth. And really long. Did somebody really lay out all of this tarmac by hand? No, did they do tarmac by hand in the 20s? My God. I look up at the lights dotted across the length of the road. They keep going on for miles, piercing the night sky like pinholes in a paper lantern. They continue farther than I can see, past a line of trees that surround me on both sides. Feels like the middle of nowhere. Cool breeze pushes past me and through the leaves. So quiet I can practically hear each leaf rustling on the branches. It's not so cold that I'm shivering, but there's a palpable humidity in the air that reminds me of home. Well, what was my home? Shit, they probably noticed I was gone by now. I have to... Holy buckets! I suddenly noticed my shadow growing in front of me, as another set of bright lights hurtled towards me. Fuck, he's back! I whip around and get blinded in their glare. What the... Oh! I jump out of the way and it zooms past me, stopping a few yards away. The screech echoes through the empty valley. I crack open an eye to see what almost hit me. It takes a moment for the after image that was burned into my retinas to fade, but things slowly come into focus. A long feline tail hits the kickstand, and the sound of an engine idling fills the space between us. Wait, could it be? The problem with this setup is that it's a little bit hard to... the magic is kind of soiled after a little bit. You don't get to experience it multiple times, but that's okay. It's still an interesting ass premise, regardless of the fact that you only get to experience that once. But still, man, holy shit. Oh! That's a cool fucking picture right there. That's fucking cool. It's Ken. Route 1. Oh, that's cool because he's got a bull bike instead of chapters. It's called like routes. That's funny. He's okay. Oh, thank God. I'm glad picking that card wasn't some kind of trick. But why does he look so pissed at me? He stares expectantly, and I try to compose myself. Hey! The voice I gave him in episode 1 was like, "Are you fucking slow?" Or something like that. It's kind of deep, but also nasally. But I don't know if I would go with that now, because I gave him that before I saw him. He's this big guy, and I don't know. I haven't given anyone the Spencer kind of voice, but I don't know if that fits either. Damn it. Let me see if they describe his voice. Well, they didn't describe his voice either back then. Let me double check to see if they describe his voice. At least in his initial summary thing, they didn't describe a voice. I don't know if they did later on. I'm sorry. But They just said that his summary was short and that he described himself as a cyclist. A cyclist, you say? Mark's already got the deep voice. Gabriel's got, let's say, Carl's voice with more of a 90s edge, an upbeat version. So I guess we'll just go with the Spencer voice because the voice I was giving Ken before was way too high-pitched, I feel. Are you fucking slow? Huh? He sneers and revs the motor. I can barely hear him over it. Are you trying to become roadkill, speed bump? Well, I stutter, not expecting a racially targeted insult. I know he was blunt towards us earlier, but never outright rude. I center myself and approach him slowly. No, I wasn't, actually. He rolls his eyes and sucks his teeth. He did that before. So you just jump in front of bikes for the cheap thrills, then? There's easier ways to die, you know. Whoa! Whoa! Jeez. Sometimes characters just would be better off knowing what game they're in. My expression tightens. He smiles, clearly enjoying teasing me. Oh, I see now. You wanted to take someone with you so you'd have some company in the devil's waiting room, right? What a sad, sad little man. Wow. Wow. This is not going well so far. I mean, Ken was kinda blunt and, like, kinda rude before, but, like, this is just not, ugh. Why is he being such a dick? Does he not recognize me or something? Okay, Ken, what the hell is your problem? His eyes go wide and slowly smolder into a sharp glare. How do you know my name? Huh? What? He tightens his grip on the handlebars. Who sent you? Fuck, they sent a detective this far east already? Detective? What are you talking about? He begins backing up his bike and I wait for him to stop. Keep the fuck away from me, man! No, please, we need to talk. Something is wrong. We were just in that place, you know, with the others. He stares at me, eyes searching for something. Something we both know was true. He has to remember, this wasn't just some dream. Ken, please. He shakes it off and whips the back of his bike around, starting the engine again. Just leave me alone. Come! I mean, yeah, this other than the outright racist douchebaggery about, like, his first stuff was bad, but this makes sense. Like, this would be kind of thing like, yeah, nope, get fucking out of here. My yell gets cut off by the loud rip of his bike's motor, and he leaves me behind in a cloud of exhaust. I choke on the fumes and start to tear up. Zoom! Motherfucker, zoom! I watch until his headlights disappear from view. He's gone. Again. God fucking damn it! I was actually glad to see him. Fall back against the railing and slide onto the cold ground, feeling those tears begin to stream down my face. That wasn't Ken. Not the same Ken I knew. For 5 minutes, or well, relatively 5 minutes. I think they described it as like a time weird thing. I don't know. He was the first to disappear. He looked straight at me, his eyes full of terror. Just now, His eyes were full of confusion, disgust even. Did those moments between us in the golden place mean nothing to him? My face still hurts from crying over him earlier. Fuck. Wipe my snout, praying nobody else passes by to see this pathetic display. Whatever I'm feeling about Ken right now, I can't stay here. I need to find a town or something. I get up and dust myself off, looking in the direction Ken went. It's a safe bet that it was towards civilization of some sort. Or, at the very least, some sort of rest stop. I don't have any money, but if they're offering work, I'll do whatever it takes until I can figure out where I am and how to get home. Taking a deep breath, I start plodding forward. So we're in the east, I guess. And with trees this size, maybe we're on the east coast, probably in the south still, because it's warm. But with trees this size, I'm guessing maybe the Carolinas, maybe. Yeah, probably more southern than that. I don't know. That's my first guess. I don't know. Of course, could be, if we're going way up north, you could also be like Maine. If you're trying to get the fuck away from civilization, you probably go to Maine. But you wouldn't probably describe Maine as east. Maine is east, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out. Being able to see how far the road ahead of me stretched on made this feel daunting. But I have no other options. When I looked over the railing earlier, it was a straight 20-foot drop into the wilderness. No ladders. I hold myself and continue on, trying to keep my mind busy to distract from the dull task. I wonder if I'm still in Louisiana. I can tell it's still spring from the sparse new growth on the surrounding nature, so I don't think any significant time has passed. Phew, buddy, you'd have no idea. Yeah, it doesn't feel like home. It feels off removed from what I know. It must be really late, too. Aside from Ken, there haven't been any other vehicles. This kind of road seems extremely newfangled, so maybe people just don't know about it yet? Newfangled. There aren't any scuffs or tire marks. This could have been built yesterday for all I know. That thought brings to mind the main source of my panic. Not knowing. I met Virgil. A bunch of unexplainable things happened. I met the others. And then... tired. It's true. I can feel the fatigue hit my body and stop for a moment. No, wait, I can't stop now, not until I find an exit. Trudging forward for another 30 minutes, I eventually get to a bend in the road with a steep incline. Oh, this will bring me closer to the ground at least. Maybe I could climb down now. Slowly approach and look down from the top of the ramp. Guess I could slide down on my butt. Sit on the edge, holding my tail in my arms, and gulp, scooting down an inch at a time. Christ on a cracker. So far, so good. Uh-oh, I'm turning. Oh, before I can stop myself, I do a 180 and catch a rough patch of asphalt, turning on my side into a full-body tumble. Oh, God! Oh, Jesus. I roll down what feels like hundreds of feet before I hit the bottom with a dull thud. Breathe! I'll be all bruised all over tomorrow. I peel myself off the road and look at my gravitational adversary, Jesus. It was only a 10-foot drop. Sigh. Well, at least nobody saw that. Oh, somebody saw that. What the fuck did I just watch? Busted. I stiffen up. There's someone else here. Turning slowly, I look back over my shoulder. Hello? Is that a possum? I don't know who said that. It's dark. You can't see who's talking. Looks like it. Kind of rough around the edges. Two voices. I'm outnumbered. This could be bad. I can see fine at night, but only so many feet ahead. All I see are two vague outlines. One bigger, one smaller. Show yourselves! Silence. Some muttering. An affirmation. Colt, turn off your blinders. Half brightness. Roger. Holy Christ. Another flash of light, and then... Oh. Two men, clad in leather, leaning on their bikes. Oh. Hello. A tall, imposing otter with a lit cigarette hanging from his lips smiles at me, tapping his hat politely. Across from him is a short, lanky pine marten, arms crossed and expression skeptical. They look friendly enough. What the fuck? After a moment, the otter ashes his cigarette on the sole of his boot and walks over to me. The marten flashes him an exasperated look before shrugging and turning away, scoffing to himself. Hey there, fella. Are you lost? This ain't exactly a walking kind of road, Ploth. Not great for hitchhiking, either. You could say that. I'm not supposed to be here. Rather, I need to find a town. Are you two headed this way? I smile weakly at the marten, who continues to ignore me. Yep, we're still a few miles out of Shamrock. Shamrock? Reference to your lapels there. I instinctively cover the pin on my lapel, having forgotten to take it off beforehand. Big Lug doesn't notice and continues on. Me and Colt were taking a quick smoke break. Colt and I. He waves dismissively at Colt before turning his attention back to me. I promise his buck is worse than his bite. Right. So, would you mind giving me a lift? I hate to impose, but we'd be happy to. Oh, Jesus. Colt is not happy about this. Isn't that right, Colt? Sucks his teeth and pushes off his bike, heading my way. There's a lot of teeth sucking going on in this route so far. Stopping just short of stepping on my shoes, he sizes me up before getting right in my face. He's kinda cute despite being pissed. Just because Jesse here has decided to trust you doesn't mean I won't be keeping an eye on you, Pauls. So the big guy's named Jesse, huh? I can't say that it really fits. Well met, Colt. Jesse. I'll try not to be a burden. Oh, my name's Gray. Ain't no trouble, Gray. Helping folks out is what we do. Really now? I look expectantly at Colt, hoping he'll fill me in on the details. Instead, he just nods and hops back on his bike, backing it up to face the road ahead. That one will be difficult, it seems. I follow Jesse over to his bike and try to whisper it to him discreetly. Is he mad at me? Who, Colt? Oh, he's just a little uptight is all. He's right to be careful, especially in these parts. Speaking of, I couldn't help but detect some twang in your voice. Y'all wouldn't happen to be a fellow southerner, would you? Louisiana, yeah. I pause for a moment. This Shamrock wouldn't happen to be near New Orleans, would it? He blinks a few times before scratching the back of his head. Can't say it is. We're headed towards Oklahoma right now, Texas being back that way. He points behind me. I'll be honest, I don't exactly know where Oklahoma is on the map, but I know Louisiana borders Texas on its western side, so it's not too crazy a jump in distance. Maybe I got drunk, imagined that whole mess with the Golden Palace, and actually wandered into the wilderness. I must have pissed off Ken in my drunken stupor and made him leave, only to bump into me again just now. We both know that makes zero sense. Yep, that's the story I'm going to go with if anybody asks. There we go. My thoughts get interrupted by Colt honking his horn, impatiently tapping his boot against the footrest. Save the chit-chat for the road, you Nances! Yeah, always the impatient one, that boy. Come on, Gray, let me help you get on. I grab onto his muscular arm, and he pulls me up onto the back of his seat. I slide a few inches down the soft leather until my crotch firmly rests against his rudder. His tail's so thick at the base it acts as a natural spacer between our torsos. I embrace the cone of fluff and shiver at the soft sensation. I purred by accident. Sorry. He laughs, revving the engine a few times as he lines up next to Cole's bike. Pay no mind, boss. I know my big behind takes up most of the seat. But Cole wants to give you a ride instead. He smiles cheekily at the Martin, who rolls his eyes, cracking a small smile himself. In your dreams, Jeff. Come on. The Martin revs a few times, then speeds off into the night, with our bike following suit. I've never been on a motorbike before, so I don't know what to expect. Oh, blurring effects! We suddenly lurch forward, our center of gravity delicately balanced between the two skinny wheels. I feel my stomach turn and bury my face into Jesse's tail, eyes glued shut. With every slight shift in direction, I feel us lean closer to the asphalt, speeding by, threatening to grind my flesh down like a belt sander. Jesse! You say something? No sharp turns, please! He gasps and reduces our speed, the loud engine now a somewhat reasonable hum. I'm sorry, Gray, but I'm used to picking up on the bikers. I guess this is your first time then. I nod into his tail. Gotcha! There's nothing like a man's first time on the open road. Really? He shrugs. Well, maybe it'll take a few tries, but I guarantee it'll hit you eventually. We stay quiet for a while, but I get used to the sensation. Eventually, I straighten my back and open my eyes, watching the trees and lights zip us by. He hums to himself, clearly trying to come up with something to talk about. I decide to break the ice myself. So, motorcycles, huh? He laughs heartily, and I feel my face get hot, only now realizing how asinine that sounded. Well, I mean, I've met more bikers in one night than I'd ever seen back home. I didn't know it was catching on. Really? 2 is the most you've seen? 3, and yes. Well, me and Colt are both part of the club. Don't know about the third guy. A club for just cyclists? That's rather specific. It's a bit more complicated than that, pal. Motor clubs are, well, at least the one me and Colt are a part of, help to keep the roads as safe as can be. Helping lost folk like yourself, reporting accidents, and breaking up fights. Fights? Isn't that something the police should be handling? Man, Gray really has a lot of faith in law enforcement. He sighs deeply before continuing. The cops aren't so concerned about folks like me and Colt. Just because you're bikers? Not every biker's a good egg, Gray. Plenty of people are just gangsters out for themselves, causing problems for everyone. It's also a bit more than just our occupations that give folks pause. Reckon you already knew that, being from the South and all. I guess. I'd only be considered slightly above mustelids in this bizarre social food chain anyway. It's easy for people to connect dots that aren't really there. I'll admit, I thought he and Colt looked imposing at first, but it only took a few minutes of talking to them to know they meant no harm. I wonder if Ken is the latter type of biker. No, there's no way he'd be a criminal. A criminal, you say? Who is suspicious about a detective following him? That'd be interesting. I mean, he had a gun on the main screen. I was like wondering, like, is he a hitman? Is he like on the run from the mob? That'd be cool. That'd be interesting. I don't know. Because this game really seems to be one of the ones that does justice to the realities and the horrors of, social and circumstantial, like, realism of what it's like to be there. So you can help, like, demystify what it's like to be on the run from the mob, because that's been romanticized. I literally just described it as being cool. No, it would not be fucking cool to be on the run from the fucking mob. But what I mean is it would be cool narratively to see it played out in this circumstance from this game's perspective, written and portrayed by this dev team. I think that would be an interesting fucking thing to see, but I have more than enough faith to see that whatever actually is the story of Ken will be actually just will blow out of the water, whatever I was expecting. Where the fuck is my mouse? There it is. Dots. We can't afford to take people for granted. We need to be smarter. I know. First sign of trouble, we run. Understand? Right. Survival first. Say it like a true possum. Are you a possum too? We still don't know who the fuck that is. I see a glow from the horizon. We're here! Stage left, Jess. Roger! He looks over his shoulder at me and grins. Looks like our time together's almost up, Gray. A melancholic feeling starts to wash over me. I hate goodbyes, even if I'd only known these guys for less than an hour. It must be showing on my face. I see his smile fade through the side mirror. Well, it doesn't have to be goodbye yet. I'll talk to Colt when we're done refueling. You want to go back home, don't you? Yeah. Maybe when we're done with our business in OKC, I can see about setting you up with a ride down south. Can't guarantee it'll be right away, but you'll be in good hands. Are you sure? That seems like a big detour. I bet Colt will want to see the Big Easy for himself. Just gotta convince him to add it to our list of cities. Thanks. I'd love to show you guys around. That would be interesting, to have Gray go back to New Orleans, but in a full future time. That would be an interesting twist. He's being awfully generous considering we just met. But I guess it might just be part of his club's philosophy. And look at me, talking like a local, as if I can actually claim New Orleans as my hometown. I'll have to deal with my friends chewing me out the second I get back, too. At least I have nice company for the time being. Right. Be cautious.